All right, so welcome to our TGIF class. We try to have a little bit longer holds in this class, so be ready for that. We're going to start with seated meditation today. So we've been starting laying down quite a bit this week, just because of the election and all that, and just helping ourselves to relax into whatever is going on in our lives. So today we'll start seated and just find your comfortable meditation position, maybe sitting up on a blanket or a block, or even a meditation cushion if you'd like. Okay, and then let's just roll the shoulders backwards. You can do both at once, if that feels good, or one at a time. Just start to wake up the tops of the shoulders, the upper back. All right, and just let your shoulders drop. Okay, let your hands rest just wherever it's comfortable. Don't force your hands into a position. Just let them relax. Find where it feels comfortable today. We'll just be here for about 5 minutes. So let's close the eyes and start to bring our attention inward. This is called pratyahara in yoga. And pratyahara means senses inward. So focus your mind on your breath, on your body, what you're feeling. So let's swallow to relax the throat first, and let the teeth part so we're not clenching the jaw and wasting energy. Let your tongue relax. It might feel like it's getting full as it relaxes. Let your cheeks relax inside and out. And then let the roof of your mouth relax, the sky of your body. Maybe you feel a little tingling when you bring your focus there. There's lots of nerve endings in the top of the mouth. Good. Let your eyes relax as you focus inward with compassion and metta, loving kindness for yourself. And let your forehead relax as you just let thoughts come and go. Just being the witness to your thinking. And then bringing your attention down to the breath by your nose. I'm just going to meditate for a couple of minutes. And remember, meditation doesn't mean no thoughts. It means witnessing thinking, focusing your attention on the object of meditation, which here is the breath. Whatever the object might be, it might be a mantra. It might be a place in your body, but today we're going to practice Anapana, which is breath awareness below the nose. So just notice the breath and the sensation it creates as it enters and exits your nose. And try to keep your mind here. If it floats off to a thought or a worry or a distraction, that's okay. Just notice and then bring it back to that space. Okay, we're going to be here for 2 minutes. You're practicing focusing, dharana. Good job. That was 2 minutes. Now let's start to softly breathe into the belly. So on your inhale, pull the breath from your nose into your belly, let it expand. Breathe out, draw the belly muscles back. And begin again, breathing in, feel your belly expand. Breathing out, contract your belly muscles. Just continue like that, nice and slow and steady. Waking up the lower lungs, waking up that second chakra. The Svadhisthana, emotions and creativity live here in the stomach. So sometimes when we're upset or stressed, our digestion starts to be limited. We get stomach aches, things like that. So this low belly breathing can help to loosen things up, spinal twists like we've been doing all week. Forward folds, back bends. So we're loosening things up, getting things flowing again. Okay, now let's breathe into the ribs and feel the ribs expand on your inhale. On your exhale, ribs relax. Breathing in, feel the rib cage expand. Breathing out, just relax. Continue like that. Push the breath out to the sides a little bit, where the rib bones are, and breathe out, let go. You're stretching your intercostal muscles between the bones. Now, third chakra is just below the top of the ribs, where the ribs meet above the belly button. And that's the solar plexus chakra, and this is the fire element, your digestion. So keep on breathing in and out, taking action in your life by taking this class, doing something good for yourself. Something meaningful. Okay, now let's breathe in and out of the chest. So feel your chest rise and fall with your inhales and exhales. This might feel like it's the smallest part of the lungs or the most limited. Just notice that. Try to breathe all the way up to your collarbones, your clavicles, right? As you inhale. Create more space. Breathe out, relax. So heart center, love and compassion live here in the chest. And that's sometimes when we are grieving or we feel sad, we might start bringing our shoulders together in front of us, closing the heart, right? If we're afraid. So let's open to love and compassion today. Let's fill the lungs like a glass. Let's breathe into the belly and then the ribs and then the chest. Pause. Empty chest, empty ribs. Draw the belly back and pause. Now continue. Make it fluid with a little pause at the top, like a wave rolling into shore, pausing. And then empty top to bottom, like a wave rolling out to sea. Draw the belly back and pause. So the wave has to turn around, just like your breath. So let it be slow and steady, finding your own rhythm today. Beautiful. Now we're going to place the hands softly together at the heart center, touching the thumbs against the breastbone, just with a little bit of pressure. And then think about why you're here today, what you might need to feel happy, to feel free. And remember, this is about you, not about anyone else. So what do you need? And then say thank you for what you asked for, as if you've already received it. It's already happened. It might be something like, thank you for making Joe Biden president. I can hear that in my brain. I don't know if it's coming from you or just from me. Whatever it might be, right? Don't ever feel guilty about things that you want and desire in your life, right? It's your life, it's your mind, it's your body. Let's bring the hands to the forehead to touch. Thoughts will be there, but they're not who you are. So just watch, be the witness to your thinking. Hands to the heart center. We're going to begin with an Om. Let's take a deep breath in. Bumblebee breath, just the humming part, the last syllable of the Om, the Let's breathe in. Hands come down, keep your eyes closed. Take a few deep breaths. Okay, we're going to slip into swan pose right away. So from the seated meditation pose, you just simply need to lean to the right and bring your left leg back behind you. So pulling the right foot up so it's across from the right knee, and then the left knee points out to the left side of the room. So line up your right thigh with the side of your mat and the right shin with the top. Unless you're falling out to the right, then simply pull this front foot back slightly. Okay? Now we want all the muscles of the legs to be relaxed. And if they are, and you still don't feel pressure, then you can start leaning forward, putting your elbows on the blocks in front of you. Okay, so we're looking for a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. If you're up higher, you're always welcome to put blocks under your elbows straight up and down. And just wait, we have plenty of time. We're going to stay here for 10 minutes as our first long holding pose today. So let's make it a meditation by focusing on the breath, focusing on staying at your edge, that sweet discomfort in between too much and too little, and focusing on love and compassion. Lots of conversations about this lately, this week especially. So there's a chant that goes like this. I think it's a Tibetan chant. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. So repeat. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And you can just repeat in your head too. So what this means is, may all beings be happy and free, and may my words, my thoughts, and my actions today contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom of all beings, all beings. Okay? So that's our first minute. Let's keep breathing. So that chant is sung like this. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. So we're working on our outer rotation of the hip joint here. So we're tugging on the tissue on the outside edge of the leg and hip, the IT band, the TFL muscle within it, and our gallbladder channel that runs down the entire side of the body and the side of the leg.
So meridians are simply energy pathways that move chi or prana through the body. And sometimes they get blocked. Sometimes the energy moves too fast or too slow. So yin and other types of energy work like qigong or tai chi or acupuncture helps this to balance the energy flow. Okay, we're 4 minutes in. Let's keep breathing. So staying with the third chakra in our Friday class today, the next attribute of the third chakra is self-esteem. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Let a man know his worth and keep things under his feet." The third chakra attributes of power, will, vitality, and self-discipline are ultimately based on self-esteem. When our self-esteem is high, we are confident, assertive, proactive, disciplined, and basically excited about life. When self-esteem is low, we are filled with doubts and self-recrimination that act like check dams for the psychic momentum needed to get something done. If there are too many check dams, we lose our momentum entirely and end up in a state of inertia. Once we find ourselves in that puddle of inertia, the self-doubt and recrimination only get worse, and the cycle can become paralyzing. And that's why we come to yoga. Let's keep breathing. We've got about 90 seconds left. Good. Now go ahead and slowly rise up, taking the pressure off on the outside of that thigh. Lean to the right, bring both legs out front, and just let your legs relax for a moment. And just notice if you feel anything different between the two thighs, the two legs, the two hips. Move the hips a little bit, the legs. You can put your feet flat and let your knees tip side to side. Windshield wipers. Now be in control of the movement. Good. Let's place the hands behind the feet in front for our first reverse table. Slowly lift and squeeze, pushing the hands and feet down, squeezing the hips to the sky. If that's too strong, feel free to go down to the ground. Just bring a block with you if you're going to do that instead, and lift the hips towards the sky for bridge. That's your alternative. So both poses open up the front of your body, building core strength, using your strong legs. Now, if you're in reverse table, when you come down, grab a block and meet us on the ground. And then once you're on the ground, I want you to lift the hips, put the block under you, and bring the legs up to the sky. Okay, let's stay here for a couple minutes and just roll the ankles around. This is really good for your energy of your legs, right? We're letting the energy flood down the legs towards the hips, and then down the hips towards the heart. Rolling the ankles in circles, pointing and flexing. If it's hard, you could always bend the knees a little bit or hold on behind your thighs. Remember, this can also be done right up against a wall with the legs up against the wall, so you can really relax, maybe even without the block. And that's called Vipariti Karani. Now, if you're ready, it's kind of early in the class, but you can let your legs start coming towards your body, maybe even lifting the hips, catching the hips with the hands. You could also stay where we just were, if that feels more appropriate. So do what feels good, moving into snail if you'd like. You can also use your block pushed up against your back for support, so you don't even have to use your hands. You can let your knees bend towards your face and feel the stretch down the back of the legs, the hamstrings, the back of the spine, urinary bladder channels. Keep on breathing wherever you are. Keep your chin up if you're in snail, making sure you're not overstretching your neck. And when you're finished with your pose, See if you can bring the hips back down onto the block if you're in snail. Once you're in that posture, just put your feet on the ground and we'll just rewind by lifting the hips into bridge. Take the block out, stay for a few breaths. Little back bend to counter that forward fold. And then slowly come down, bring your knees to your chest. So rock side to side, nice and slow. Beautiful. We're gonna bring the legs to the right. So open up the arms into a T, and then let your knees and feet go over to the right side of your body. Knees are stacked, feet are out from under you. Turn the palms up, maybe gaze turns to the left, reclining spinal. Now, if this is really easy for those of you that are super flexible, you can always cross your top knee over your bottom knee and then go back over to the right. So it would be left knee crossed over right. And that's gonna pull more on the waist, more on the ribs and chest. So do what feels good. If your knees don't touch, feel free to put a block between the knees. Let's just stay here for a couple minutes, get a nice stretch in the spine. You can hold your left knee with your right hand as well. Now see if you can turn your chest and your gaze to the left. Your knees are going to the right, right? So you're just gonna kind of pull your left ribs to the left a little, pull your left shoulder to the left, and then maybe your gaze can turn as well. Don't overdo it. All right, now let's bring the knees back to center. Maybe the left knee comes up first and then the right to meet it. Once you're on your back, give your knees a gentle squeeze. Rock side to side if that feels good on your back. You could also place your hands on your knees and draw circles in each direction. A few rounds, that's for your sacrum, the bone at the final bone of your spine. Good, let's bring the legs up, hold on behind the legs, and rock ourselves up to seated. Just take a little pause, shaking out your hands, rolling the shoulders backwards a little bit. And then let's take a cleansing breath. Breathe in. All right, we're gonna go forward to hands and knees next, cats and cows. Up and down, nice and slow and steady. Breathe in peace, breathe out what you don't need today. Let it go. So now we're starting to just move the spine in this, it's a gentle forward fold back bend position, cats and cows. So inhale, tail and chin go up. Exhales, tail and chin go down. So let your head move too, so you're stretching through the cervical spine in your neck. And just make sure your hands are flat with the fingers spread out. Good. Now when you're ready, let's bring the right arm to the sky and then thread it behind the left wrist with the palm up, shoulder down. right side of the face or head. Let's keep the hips right over the knees with this position. And that keeps us in control of the pressure that goes on the shoulder. All right. So check in when you get into the position before you go further or before you prop it. How does it feel? Give it a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. And then adjust your posture accordingly. If you need more pressure, left arm can go up and behind the back. If you need less pressure, hand can stay in front of you for support, or a blanket or block under your head or shoulder. Okay, let's stay here for a couple minutes. Feeling the shoulder stretch, the upper spine. Keep on breathing. So this spinal twist targets the upper back and shoulders, whereas the first spinal twist was for the whole spine, mostly feeling it probably in your lower to mid back. So we're getting into our upper body meridians with our reverse tables and our thread the needles and the melting heart poses, heart and lung meridians, the intestines. Keep on breathing, soft breaths. So when the demon of shame has entered the third chakra, and perhaps even taken it over, shame is the antithesis of self-esteem. It collapses the middle section of the body, depriving it of energy. It interrupts the fluidity coming from the base and overplays the constricting mental energy coming down from the top. So instead of moving outward, the energy runs or turns against the self. And self-esteem comes from a realistic sense of the self. Initially, this comes from the body and the physical identity. This gives us our edges and boundaries. Next, it comes from the second chakra and our emotional identity, which brings aliveness to our experience of self and keeps us happy and in touch. And then thirdly, self-esteem comes from trial and error as we reach out, take risks, succeed and fail, and in doing so, gain a realistic sense of our own abilities. Through self-discipline, we hone our skills. These form the foundation of self-esteem. Now let's place the left hand in front of the face, sweep the right arm up, and then step your right foot back to easy side plank. All right, so here's our opportunity to open up the front body more. So we push the hips forward, opening up the front of the hips, right? And then we pull the shoulders back, pushing the chest forward, opening up the chest. And then we can let the neck hang, the head gets heavy, the neck stretches out, and keep breathing. So openness, let's be open to the possibilities. We never know what's coming. Good, the arm can also reach back towards the right foot or over the head towards the top of the mat. So do what feels good. You could look up or down as well, or straight ahead. Beautiful. Now we're going to keep this spine work going. Let's place the right hand on the right hip, look down, lift the left hand up, come to kneeling, just tip towards the right for your gate pose. So right elbow can be on the right knee or hand, left arm can go up if that feels okay. right? And just let the arm come over the ear or reach straight to the sky. What feels good? I want you to feel this through the gallbladder meridian on the waist. Feel your rib cage again. Breathe. Keep pushing the hips forward. Use the left toes behind you like a kickstand. Drop the right ear towards the right shoulder if that feels okay. Couple more breaths. Good. This is lateral flexion, side bending of your spine. Let's come up. Left hand down. See if you can lift that right leg. Maybe even catch the foot behind the back. We haven't really stretched the quads yet, so don't be surprised if that's hard. Beautiful. Now let's step the right foot up as we come down. Right foot steps through to the top of the mat. Left knee slides back. Now we are going to start with high dragon. Make sure your blocks are at the top of your mat so you can use them. So we're going to move into high dragon for 3 and low dragon for 3. So maybe a block in front of your back leg is appropriate today for support, for a longer hold. So go ahead, start to lift the chest. Blocks are underneath your hands. You can move the blocks back to get the chest higher or forward to bring the chest more forward. So find the edge. Just make sure your hips are side by side here. Right foot might need to walk to the right a little bit. Okay, back toes curl under or point, just whatever feels natural. Let's breathe. So now we're waking up the front of the left hip joint. Feel that stretch through the hip flexors and quads, stomach and spleen channels. Directing your energy towards what needs healing, support. So breathe into the space where it feels the strongest right now. Lower back is compressing as well. That's what makes this a back bend. Just on the left, really. So if I were to walk behind you right now, I would want to see that that back foot is right behind the back knee. It's not swinging to one side. That means the hips are starting to twist. Just a little FYI. Slow, steady breaths in and out through the nose. One more minute here in high dragon. Keep on breathing. Slow, steady breath. So we're doing 3 high and 3 low. We just have 30 seconds left in this high dragon. Bit longer today for our Friday morning class. Whenever you're watching this, it's a good practice. Long holds. So long holds can be more advanced too, so that just means you hold back more. You don't go as far as you can in the beginning. Really pace your pose. If it gets too strong, come out a little. It gets too easy, go in. Play your edge. Let's put the blocks inside the foot. Stacking up maybe 2 or 2 sideways, whatever feels appropriate. And then placing your elbows on the blocks. Walk your right foot to the right a little bit. And we'll stay here now for 3 minutes. But remember, you can adjust it. Going down further, coming up, maybe going to baby dragon if it gets really intense for you. Slow, steady breathing. So now feeling it more in the front leg than the back. Taking the back bend out of this posture. Nice slow breaths. Our concept of self is further illuminated by interactions with others. If we are loved and accepted by others, that's the fourth chakra, and feel we have something to give, we are more likely to love and accept ourselves. Through communication, we can get honest feedback about how others perceive us and are able to communicate the interior of the self. And through the upper two chakras, we get the transpersonal elements that hold the self in a larger matrix. Self-esteem forms a good foundation for opening the heart and maintaining successful relationships. If the lower chakras have done their job, then our partner doesn't need to make us secure, interpret our feelings, or bolster our ego. We can then move more completely into the delighted experience of love. Okay, we have one more minute here. Keep breathing. You could also turn it into the winged dragon by putting your right hand on your right knee, turning your chest to the right, for another spinal twist for the upper back. This is the opposite direction, though, of your first thread the needle, so it might feel good. And the second side will always be easier. 30 more seconds. Okay, now push your hands into the mat, slowly lift the hips and lean back. See how that feels. Good, taking the pressure off. Stay in that neutral position. Okay, now we're gonna put a block on the inside of the back foot for half frog today. All right, so make sure you have your support there, your blocks in case you need another one. You can sit on the block inside the foot. And then I'm going to spin around so it's easier to see what's happening. We want the left foot on the outside of the left hip, okay, whether you're sitting on a block or not. And then you can hold your left ankle, turn the left knee out to the left. This is the same quadricep that we just stretched. So hopefully you're ready. You could place a block, another block, or just one behind the right knee. You might be sitting on a block when you're doing that or not on the floor. All right, so we're gonna stay here for 5, right? So we're doing longer holds. So make sure you take it easy here. If there's pain in the knees, sometimes it helps just to bring the knees closer towards each other. So find your first edge, relax, breathe. We haven't opened up the feet yet, but this is definitely gonna help. We're stretching through the top of the left foot. Okay, so find that sweet discomfort point, close your eyes. Maybe you're gonna stay up high and support your elbows with tall blocks. Suppose you could perhaps go forward if you have more openness in this part of your body, using the blocks under your elbows in front of you. So please make sure muscles are relaxed, make sure you can breathe and be still. That's our first minute, just 4 left. Keep on breathing. So the first half of class, we kind of looked at self-esteem and how it contributes to the third chakra health, and how the first 2 chakras are important in development to move into self-esteem in the third. And now we're going to move into, for the second half of the class, into breaking powerlessness. So if we feel powerless, how can we change that? And the quote is, "Limitation is the first law of manifestation. Therefore, it is the first law of power." So power, like any muscle in the body, must be developed consciously. In keeping with the well-known expression, knowledge is power, most powerlessness is the result of ignorance about how to behave effectively. It may be simply lack of awareness or attention. Increasing our awareness increases our power. Therefore, such things as meditation and yoga can help. As we raise energy up the spine, and as this energy pierces this third layer, feelings of power will naturally ensue. However, mere meditation is not enough. We have 2 minutes left here. Let's keep on breathing. So there's a book by Pema Chodron called When Things Fall Apart. I read it many years ago. But the one thing I always remembered about finding balance in Buddhism, they talk about the middle way, is she said, if you're someone that is shy, go to a party and try talking to people. If you're someone who always needs to be the center of attention, sit back and listen in that situation. In other words, push yourself in the opposite direction that you may be practicing right now to bring yourself to balance. 1 more minute. Keep relaxing. Remember, you can come out or go in a little bit further. Just listen to your body. So this is an inner rotation with the left leg, and then a forward fold with the right, which is flexion of the hips. So 2 different directions at once makes it a little bit even more intense. Now we're going to come up. If you are folding, I'd like you to grab a hold of your left ankle and slowly guide it out front. And slowly let that left leg straighten, maybe even supporting it all the way down to the ground, taking extra care of that left knee. Okay? Now let's keep the left leg flat and put the right foot inside the right knee or the left knee or outside of it, whichever feels more appropriate. Right hand's going to come behind you. Hold the right knee with the left hand. I want you to lift up through your chest and ribs, squeeze your belly, and turn to your right. For a third spinal twist, suck the belly in. Good, turn and twist, squeeze, squeeze. We're working on that third chakra, right in the center of the body. Good, bringing out the spinal tissue, the internal organs. You can hook your elbow if you need more pressure. Just make sure this right hip stays on the floor. Small sips of air in and out of the chest, squeeze your pelvic floor here at the end. Inhale, turn to the front. Exhale, turn to the left. Good. Back to the front, seated meditation. Shake out your hands, roll your shoulders. Remember, we have chakras and we have meridian channels that begin or end in the hands. So moving the hands, moving the shoulders, waking up the upper body meridians. Let's take a cleansing breath. Inhale. All right, we're going to slip into the second side of this flow today by bringing the right leg back, bringing the left leg forward. So we're just doing the opposite side as we did in the beginning. Left leg in 90 degrees, nice and easy, knee in front of hip, foot across from the knee. And then right knee faces out to the right. Make sure the muscles are relaxed and start to fold into it. Okay, we have 10 minutes, so there's no rush. So right when you start to feel resistance in a hold this long, pause. Work through the more subtle obstacles that you're finding instead of having to go so far that it feels really strong. Okay, this is us becoming more sensitive, more awake, more aware. Find your breath, steady breathing. Block can go under your forehead as well, wherever feels good. So the following are some simple concepts related to developing the third chakra. So breaking inertia is number one. Do something different. If you are sluggish, get moving. If you are hyperactive, be still. Break boring, repetitive patterns and choose a challenge. Overcoming difficulties increases strength and confidence. Power is seldom developed by clinging to security. So give up being safe, and your power chakra will awaken more quickly. Keep your breath nice and slow and steady. We're almost halfway there. Number two, avoid invalidation. Criticism from those who do not understand your situation can sometimes be more detrimental than helpful, especially if you are a sensitive person who takes it to heart. Often, when we are undertaking something new and uncertain, Invalidation can be an instant power crippler, stopping the sensitive person dead in their tracks. Remember, as Albert Einstein said, new ideas meet their greatest opposition from those who misunderstand them. You can slide your back leg back if you need more pressure, if you're getting low into this position, lower. You can pull the front foot back if it's getting too intense, maybe come up higher or drawing the right knee more towards the top of the mat. Number 3, effort and resistance. Both effort and resistance are tiring and wear down our energy. They are both a sign that our power is not flowing harmoniously. When you find yourself straining with effort, stop. Think about what you are doing and imagine doing it without effort, smoothly, enjoyably. Ask yourself why you are so attached to this particular thing. Ask yourself why it's taking so much effort. What's missing that would make it flow smoothly? If you are in constant resistance to some force, stop. Ask yourself why this force is manifesting in your life at this time. Resistance is often fear, the opposite of power. What is it you are afraid of? Imagine what would happen if you stopped resisting. How can your will protect you with less effort or resistance? Just 90 seconds. Keep breathing. Good. Nice steady breaths all the way to the end. Just one more minute left. Okay, let's rise up nice and slow. Take the pressure off. Lean to your left this time and bring your both legs out in front of you. Good. Notice how the left leg feels now. And then some windshield wipers whenever you feel ready. No rush. Take your time. Knees moving side to side. Good. Reverse table. Second one. Hands can face any direction or bridge if you prefer. Lift and squeeze. Maybe head falls back. So I took off almost 2 weeks from doing reverse table. I don't know if you noticed that because of my neck and shoulder. And that's just what we have to do when we come up against some little injury in the body, some resistance, right? Don't try to push through it. It'll just get worse. So do bridge instead for a little while if you have to. Okay, now when you're done, you're gonna go back to your back, give your knees a squeeze, rock side to side. We're gonna go into happy baby here. So separate your knees, bring your feet up, grab a hold of whatever you can reach, and gently pull down. So get your elbows out of the way, make sure they're not on the outside of your knees, lift them up, let the knees separate. Now if you're comfortable, let your legs be loose. You can rock side to side if that feels good for you. Keep on breathing. Good, stretching out the hamstrings a little bit more. Beautiful. Now bring the legs up for a moment. Roll the ankles. And then we're going to give the knees a squeeze. Bring the arms to a T. Legs go to the left this time for our spinal twist. So get the feet out from under you. Maybe crossing right knee over left if you need more pressure. Good. Moving any obstacles out of the way. Your blocks might be in your way. Just push them out of the way for yourself. Turn your palms up. Now remember a couple of options. You can hold that right knee with the left hand. And then you can reach the right arm to the right shoulder, the right ribs, keeping that knees to the left. So you feel the center of your body, right where that third chakra is, gently twisting. Good, you can gaze that way too if it's okay with your neck, or just stay here for a couple minutes. Breathe, relax, let the earth support you. Maybe rocking your head side to side feels good. Remember, you can always keep it still in one direction. Okay, now let's slowly bring it back to center. Give your knees a squeeze. See how it feels. Rock side to side a bit if that feels nice. Maybe circles with your knees again for your sacrum. So legs up, hold behind, rock yourself to seated. Shake out your hands, get the tension out of the wrist, roll the shoulders backwards. And let's take a cleansing breath. Inhale. Beautiful. Hands and knees, cats and cows. Second part of this sequence. Up and down, nice and slow. Bring your blocks back to the top in case you've moved them. Good. Just let your body move around. Anything that feels good. Up and down, side to side, circles with the tail and head. I'm here to take care of myself, to listen to my body, to become more intuitive. Beautiful. Left arm's going to go up. The left arm behind the right wrist, shoulder down, left side of the face. Relax and breathe. So just let your body go. Listening, what does it need, more or less, to be at that 5 on a scale of 1 to 10 at your edge? If it needs more, right arm can lift and bring it behind you. Less, keep the right hand in front of you for support. Okay, we'll stay here for 2 minutes. Keep breathing. Wiring and resistors. Make sure that your energy travels in complete circuits, that what you put out has a way of coming back. Make sure that this energy is not unnecessarily caught up, interrupted, dissipated, or fragmented. Use the flow and momentum of the second chakra to fire up the will. So maybe that's with support, with sleep, with proper eating, with meditation. We're juicing ourselves up, right? Keeping the energy flowing. And having relationships that are reciprocal. We can't always put out and not receive. A few more breaths here in the second side of our spinal twist for the upper back, thoracic. Okay, let's place the right hand in front of the face. Sweep the left arm out from under you. And then step the left foot back when you're ready. All right, so open up the front body, push your hips forward, push your chest forward, pull your shoulders back. Do what feels good. Right toes behind you like a kickstand, let your head hang. Make sure you're breathing. Do what feels good with the top arm. It can fall back, reach towards the left foot, or maybe over the head. What feels good? Keep your breath nice and free and open. Okay, left hand on left hip, look down, lift the right hand up, come to your kneeling position, and then simply lean to the left. So left shoulder down, right shoulder up. You could even stay there with the arm down if there was a shoulder issue. Otherwise, lift the right arm towards the sky or over your ear. Just a few breaths here, using that back foot for support. So make sure your left foot's flat, hips are forward. Good, right side stretching. Beautiful. Beautiful. Inhale up, right hand down. See if you can lift the left leg. This time probably easier to grab the foot, because we already stretched the front of the left hip. Now when you come down, left foot steps through to the top of your mat. Big step. Remember, we're starting with high dragon. So set it up. You could always double up the blanket in front of your back, underneath rather your back knee, maybe placing a block in front of that thigh for support. Front knee is over front ankle. Use a block under each hand. And let's lift the chest. We have 3 minutes high, 3 minutes low today for a little bit longer holds in these poses. Okay, but we're skipping baby dragon, so if that feels good, you could always go there for the whole pose. It's up to you. Remember, this is your practice. Nice, steady breaths in and out. Remember, you could lean back for more pressure. You can lean forward for less. Keep on using your breath. Steady breaths. Feel the front of the right hip. Just a few more breaths. We have 45 seconds for our 3-minute hold in high dragon. So a little more intense. It's a back bend, so good for your lower back. Keep on breathing. Releasing tension from the front of the hip makes the low back feel better as well. Blocks inside the front foot, elbows on the blocks, whatever level feels good. Bring your hips down with your elbows, maybe walking the left foot to the left to make more room. Good, conscious breathing. So next is called breaking attachments. Energy that is directed towards something that is not manifesting is energy that is hung up, caught, or otherwise useless. If after reasonable effort something is not working, let it go. The energy you feel when the attachment no longer has control over you can be exhilarating. The more you release, the less friction there is on your energy. The lighter you become, the more you move towards spirit and away from matter. Be careful not to go too far, however, for the earth plane is where the power manifests, and without some solidity, the power may become too diffused. Right? Trying to force something to happen, like a relationship or a job that just isn't working anymore. We have 1 more minute. You can put your left hand on your left knee, turn your chest to the left if you like for that winged dragon. Keep breathing. Okay, let's lean back. Good job. Nice and slow. Bring the hips back until you don't feel that pressure anymore. It should feel kind of hard to come out of the pose. Good. Now stay there in neutral for a few breaths, and then we're going to sit down on the inside of the right foot this time. So you can place your block or 2 there. Scoot back onto a block. If you need that support, it can help take pressure off the knee and the foot. Then you can hold your right ankle, turn the right knee out to the right, and remember to adjust this distance between the 2 knees if that right knee starts feeling pain, or lift yourself up higher. We'll be here for 5 minutes, so no rush. Take your time, keep breathing. So block can be behind that left knee, if that helps you to relax a little bit more. Block can be under your elbows in front of you, right? Or you can come forward even more if you want more pressure. Just make sure legs are staying relaxed. Nice, slow, steady breaths. Almost done with class. Keep breathing. Giving yourself permission to go in more, to come out more, to make the adjustments that your body is needing to be at that 5, at that place where you can breathe and relax and be still. Okay, that's our first minute in our half frog today. Okay, just 90 seconds left. Attention. Attention focuses energy. Pay it when it needs to be paid. Give it to yourself. Give and accept it from others. Notice where it goes. Where the attention goes, the rest of the energy will surely follow. Just a few more breaths. Guys, grab a hold of your right ankle this time. Just bend deeply. 5 minutes. Let the legs stretch out. Put the left foot flat. We'll take that spinal twist. Lift up through your ribs. This time hold the left knee with your right hand. Left hand back. Tuck your belly in. Uddiyana Bandha, and start to twist. Think about that chakra. You can hook your elbow if you need more power, more pressure. Just keep the left hip on the floor. Squeeze your pelvic floor here at the end. Inhale to the front. Exhale to the right. Counter twist. Beautiful. Turn back to the front. I want you to come on your feet just for a moment. Let's see how the feet feel after all that. If you need a block, that's fine. Put the block between the feet. But let's take our cleansing breath here. Let's take a deep breath in. If you need more, you can lean back, lift the knees off the floor, feet are nice and open. Let's flip the toes under. Maybe wiggle your feet a little bit after all that. Your ankles are nice and open. Now bottoms of the feet stretch. Fingers can stay in front of you, hands, or climb onto your thighs for more pressure. Good. All right, now we're going to find our way down to our backs. We're going to lay back over our blocks for our final back bend. So putting the props behind you, one sideways block for your chest, behind the chest, one behind your head. They're kind of close together because we want it to support the upper back. Another block for the head. Do what feels good with your arms and legs. Maybe opening like a star here. The whole front body expanding. So just go ahead, lay back, close your eyes. Concentrate and meditate. And just notice what you feel right now. Swallow, relax your throat. Let the teeth part, relaxing all the surfaces within the mouth. Relaxing your eyes, looking inward again with compassion. Relaxing your forehead, letting thoughts come and go like clouds. And grounding is the last part here. And that's what we're doing through our practice. We're getting grounded. We must be able to direct our attention to the here and now in order to manifest power. Grounding brings us into the present, into the power within our bodies, and consolidates and focuses our energy. Even though we are rising beyond this chakra, we never overcome the need for this simple practice. Take rest. Without moving, without changing or fixing anything about yourself, you're exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. Feel the power in that idea. Start to lengthen your breath. Feel the power of the breath. And skim the thumbs across the fingertips, feeling the power of touch, of your energy system. Stretch the arms to the sky and back over your head. And just feel the power of love in your chest. Compassion. This is empowering. Slide your feet flat when you're ready, no rush, and roll off to one side. Feel the earth. Feel your connection. Feel yourself grounded and empowered today. Slowly make your way up to seated when you're ready. Placing your hands at your heart center, touching the thumbs against the sternum, bow your head down. Thank yourself for being here today, for becoming empowered. Let's close with an Om. Breathe in. The power in me bows to the power in you. Namaste. Drink lots of water and have a beautiful day. Thanks for being here.